matchup that we're going to be having. And it's going to be sick because, yeah, there's plenty of action to come. Both these teams playing really well in the group stage.
Yeah, they made it out. So, I mean.
Yeah, it's insane. And I think we have all the players in the room. I feel like we could talk a lot about like both of these teams, honestly.
Right.
So let's go ahead and get to the rosters, honestly, because like I feel we're about to be starting this room. Australia, starting with Verley, Nuclear, Barry, Solar, and Lockie. This is the roster they've been using for the entire World Cup. They performed really well. They ended up upsetting U.S. South in the group stage, which I think, was pretty surprising. I don't know. What do you think, person who was on U.S. South for this loss?
I actually lost to this team. I have a first-hand experience. Not really. What I really like about this team is the dynamic duo of Solar and Lockie bagging.
Yes.
So both of these guys are pretty competent baggers, but what sets them off is they actually change in between the races. So it kind of gives an unexpected advantage. Like, I'm not going to say that there's bagger matchups per se, but on some tracks, Solar is just better than Lockie on others, I believe, and that's why he bags them.
You know what's really funny? I think we missed the first race.
Oh.
I think they just ran it.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, so why don't we just go to it, honestly?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about Germany then.
Yeah.
Let's get to the show.
Let's get to the show. So we'll see, hopefully, what the race 1 results were in a jiffy. But it looked like it was DDR to start it off with. While we're in the intermission, why not? Why don't we just talk about Germany for a bit?
Very quickly, we could go over Germany.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we have 3 games to talk about them, which is, potentially 3 games. We have.
Well, you know what?
We're
going to get to the race, so let's just hold it off till next GP. Why not?
I mean, so that's the thing about Mario Kart commentary, right? Is that like I feel like you can, do play-by-play all the time.
Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, I think just generally speaking, like, yeah.
So it is actually race 2. We did miss race 1.
Yeah. So we'll be able to see basically race 2 as it's coming up soon. What you call it? Oh, looks like we're back.
All right.
At least we have some fun.
So very POV.
Yes.
Very POV. And he's first. I believe Australia is third behind him.
Correct. So this will be race 2 that we have going on here.
So it looks like Australia is actually 134.
Yeah, certainly. And it looks like, moving through highway crash. I know a big fan of this track in general. We'll see if he's able to hold it up for long enough.
Oh no, this is actually crashing first. The me was different. It changed. All right, that's fine. Crashing first.
You might be right. This is actually absolutely Barry here.
Yeah. Oh, it is Barry. So we
I was
are
about to pop
having
off.
Insane technical difficulties
yes,
here.
But we will be sorting them out as we go along here. But for lap 3, Hawk, I'm going to let you take this one away.
Right. Okay, so shock coming
here.
in. That's definitely a Germany shock, I believe. So Sand actually dodging in the bill here brings him up to about 4th. Let's see. Crash. What's he going to get? 1 shroom. Not so good. Let's see. I think they're 2, 3, 4, 5. I think Australia is still first here.
We'll see if that ends up still being the case.
Germany actually getting bombed here. Yeah, Australia's in first. Barry still holding down the fort.
Yeah, it looks like he'll be able to take away the clean first. I think Germany
2, 3, 4 for Germany.
Yeah. So that'll at least end off the race.
And I don't see Sand in the back of the pack. Let's see if he catches up. I don't. Oh no, I think I saw him. Okay. But we'll see what he actually got.
We will. It is Australia at least getting first place, but we'll see about those other spots coming up soon. But a response at least from the German side, being able to recover, and especially when they started off in 3-4, pretty difficult to do so, I feel like, on this track generally.
Yeah.
It can be. I feel like the threat from
So,
backspam generally can be
this
a bit
track
rough.
in general is based off the first set, essentially. Whatever happens first set kind of dictates a lot of the race. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the first 15 seconds, but
Right.
it looked like Barry kept first, and they were actually 1-3-4 for it, I think, at the end of first lap. So,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like it was.
Germany ended up getting the shock there, though. So,
Yeah. So, yeah, that's something that we do. I think maybe we even want to talk about for a bit, right? Is that I think that's one of the key components to this match generally, is just that factor of Australia's bagging being insane and Germany's, at best being kind of a question mark.
So Australia for sure has world-class bagging. I think, let's see. So I think the USA teams, and then I'd probably go with Australia after that, honestly. I rate Solar and Lucky pretty high. So Mushroom Gorge here, coming in for Germany.
All right, Mushroom Gorge to start it, which I'm pretty sure Crash a fan of this one, right?
Yeah, no, this is like his favorite course.
Inexplicably so. I don't understand it. I will never understand it, but
it's a weird glitch he has, but yeah, he really likes it.
an insane glitch he has. Well, we'll see if he is able to not quite take the glitch, maybe, but do
Yeah,
something a little
so
bit
it
better
looks
than
like
that.
he's going forward and another guy's stopping.
All right, well, we'll see where we're at here, but Germany seems to have tightened the leads a bit here.
Yeah,
so.
I think Germany's main problem is, so Kevin and Crash are very, very competent. Sane and I believe Lucid's the other guy in their lineup. Lucid's pretty good. Sane's kind of a question mark, but he has been doing pretty well in these matches so far. So we'll see how it pays off for them. The biggest problem, like I said, is the bagging.
We'll see if it ends up being trouble here, which, of course, on Mushroom Gorge can definitely be the case.
Crash just still trying to get a shroom here. That's really what he wants. Preferably multiple. And he gets a pal. That could be useful.
Could be. We'll see if it ends up being that being the case. Of course, we do see still Germany in some pretty solid spots
Yeah,
right
1-4. Let's see.
You take that if you're Germany. But of course,
and nice. Gets pal on landing for Barry.
Well, that'll be a decent pout for them, but not really enough. I mean, at least first place is gone by a country mile going into lap 3 here.
Right. One of the baggers definitely has shock. I can't quite tell which one it was. I haven't been paying attention.
Trying to get this TC off on the Verly. Does it connect? It's the German-Australia connection line. It probably won't, and that will be crashing in the TC here. I wonder what's happening with Barry right now. He's in first. Oh, he's the one holding up.
I believe Germany has the shock.
So we'll see if a target shot comes in here, because the shock generally comes
they
in.
have to use it like right now.
Either it comes to shock with one of their top spots off, which is a good bit far away, or the shock.
Let's see.
I think Kevin ends up taking the cut. They wait for Kevin. No, they dodge, crash at the end. They get 4, 5, 6, but I don't really know how well that shock was used.
I think they needed to use it quicker there. I think what happened was I think Kevin actually did want to go for the cut, but the problem with that play is I don't think Kevin was the highest position there. I think Australia was close, and even if they weren't close, they're Australian. You can't really go off of being close with an Australian and saying you're going to TS them. So we'll see what actually happened.
Yeah. I'll see soon and shortly. But in the meantime, it'll be, I think, a race win for Australia, because it seemed like they got the majority of spots, really. But yeah, I think that will be the case. We'll see. Okay, how about this? Anyone in chat, you know what? This is one of our, for what it's worth, we decided to wing this one with a in-person cast. If you can help our producer behind the computer, Edison's holding it down here, and soon Hawk will be. God bless you, Hawk.
Yep.
If you can help out our boy Edison here, if you know the race positions for Team Australia, shout it out in the chat, and we'll get you your race scores updated momentarily.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what is happening on our end, but it's not working out as smoothly as we planned.
It's a I ended up actually just for fun staying up all night to set this up, like in person thing.
Nice.
So there might be a as we've seen, some missed bits on my part.
So yeah,
here and there.
this is the first time
And
we're
I actually want to deeply apologize to Edison on the mic right now.
Yeah, Ira gave
literally
Edison
throwing him into the fire.
He gave him a quick walkthrough about 5 minutes before we got into this, so you can't blame anything on him.
Yes, he's the insane carry that both on U.S. North. Sorry, yep.
Yeah, North.
And on the production desk. But we'll be going ahead into race 4 here with the scores being updated shortly. And Sherbetland is the call, which, a decent reset track.
Police box to crash, and no Bill.
No Bill at
Baggers
all.
are just sitting. Let's see if the Reds can connect. I don't think they do here.
No shot.
Yeah, he didn't even try.
Yeah, so you'll be able to maybe Nuclear with the nice bananas there.
Right.
And just as the golden ends will basically wipe that effectiveness of that golden away entirely in Solar, giving him the cherry on top to send Germany to bottom 2, which honestly, not that bad. It's kind of what you want if you're Germany, depending on how bad he goes.
Spots, they don't matter that much on this course. I mean, obviously first is first, but we'll see. We'll see. Lucid actually holding on first here, 2-3 for Australia.
Yeah. We'll see how it pans out for them.
There's actually a that's a good pow coming in for Germany.
Yeah.
Nuclear is very close up there with Lucid. The spots are actually breaking away here in the top, especially top 2.
Interesting line, I would say.
I think he just DC'd.
Yeah, it looks like he
looks like he
might
just
have.
DC'd in first.
That was who again? That was
Lucid.
Yeah.
That is not what you want to see, especially because he was neck and neck with Nuclear up there.
Jeez. Yeah, that's got to be pretty killer. I mean, maybe coming back. I wonder if positions we can tell from Crash's perspective, maybe, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, either way, no, not really much of a position change we can notice. But either way, Crash has a start here in 4th. I feel like he has to do something with the start of Crash if Germany has any chances of succeeding and keeping this match as tight as it's been.
I think he was forced to use it there this set.
Yeah, no idea on where the shock is, so just kind of has to run it. It's not looking good for the Germans here. Bomb does come in, forces the tight line, wide line from Barry. Ooh, rough position to be in between the Red, the Mega, and the Penguins. And it's all up to Say now. We'll see if he can hold it together. Barry right behind him.
Ooh.
Nice. Almost deadly backspin.
Three shrooms for a Barry here. Wow.
Yeah, confirmed 9 people in the room for sure.
Yeah, definitely Lucid DCing here. So that'll just give a free top 2 for Australia. Oh, and he bumps him off.
Oh my God, he actually gets that.
So do they get top 3?
He reads that lag so perfectly. This actually might be the most deadly DC I've seen in a while.
I believe it actually didn't matter. So we'll see. I think he still got 3rd.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say that DC didn't matter. I was about to.
Oh no, the DC mattered quite a bit actually. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
DCing in first, second lap Sherbetland. Especially there was such a lead coming in for Lucid there, but unfortunately DCing.
Top 2. Oh, actually, the damage not being as bad. Top 2 4-7. Wait, am I seeing that right? Top 2 4-7, and I think that's going to be Australian 10. Because of the bagger point.
So Barry's teammate ruining his 60 there. Let's see if that causes a internal debate for Australia. I doubt it will. They're looking very, very happy right now. If I was them.
Yeah, honestly, pretty nice way to end off the GP. I honestly thought it was going to be way worse for Australia there, but they managed to get. Sorry for Germany there, but. It's still not a result you want if you're Germany, especially since you had first place. Obviously, that's very subject to changing on Sherbetland of all places. But we'll be having our players get in the room in just a bit.
So we had the combo breaker spam there for Barry, signaling that his 60 was in fact broken.
Yeah.
Yep.
True. That's tragic. I don't think we've actually seen a 60 in the World Cup.
It's very hard to see at all.
Yeah, no, we haven't. Especially I don't think we've ever, at least I've ever seen a 60, especially in the bracket stage. Definitely like group stage and stuff like that. That's like kind of the thing to expect.
Yeah,
generally, but
the teams are more evenly matched here, so
yeah,
it's hard to say. But Australia, I believe, making a pretty big lead here. So yep, looks like they're winning 22.
But I don't know. I mean, if you're down by 22 after a GP, you're not sweating that much.
Yeah, so that's a lead, but it's still one race territory, so you're not like very upset.
Right. Yeah.
You're still in this.
Well, I mean, we have some time, I think, to talk a little bit about just like the bagging situation, which I don't think we've quite gotten to yet.
Yeah, so I've talked a bit about Australia.
For sure.
So Germany. So who do they actually have?
Peralta's actually in
Peralta
here. Yeah.
today. So they usually had Iron Monkey in the earlier stages. I don't know if this is the first time we've seen him, but I think that Iron Monkey played the majority of the matches.
Right. No, he did. And I mean, I feel like when we saw Germany in their match versus, I think it was, I'm blanking. Japan, really struggling with being able to get shot.
Yeah.
Well, and it was like fine because it's Japan and like they're the #1 seed and that's like fine.
Right.
But I definitely in like a match like this where it's the team that beat a USA team, the first time that any team has beat a USA team in the World Cup, you're playing against that team and they have this insane strat with having two baggers on that are able to do that at any given time. Yeah, it's a big question mark to have against them, so I definitely wonder to what extent that Peralta will come through. Especially,
we'll see. So far, he's actually been doing fine.
Yeah,
I think he's gotten 2 shocks out of that GP.
Honestly, right.
So you really can't blame him. Would have obviously liked to have Sherbet land there a lot because Crash with the star in 3rd back then. But
yeah, that would have been huge in saving their race. Probably even like tie that GP up, honestly.
So Verley has a very clear lead here. Thing with Coconut Mall is even though there's a shortcut there at the start, it doesn't really shave off much. So
yeah,
he's probably going to be keeping this unless there's a blue. It's very hard to lose first here.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Verley, of course, he's been one of their top players. For Australia, their MVP, I think, has been Barry.
I believe that's correct.
With an average of around 110 points per war. But Verley's pretty close behind. Just shy, I think just right at 100 or something like that, averaging in all their wars. And that includes, again, the USA match. But Verley, of course, heading up in that first place area, won't be taken out anytime soon. I wonder if that means if there's a blue being held, but in the meantime, we see Barry, just speaking of the devil, with a Shroom in 3rd and an opportunity to make this a top 2 maybe for Australia here if he's able to get some more ground. He does have to be wary of any potential backspam from Crash, who I'm sure that green just coming out.
Just wasn't in his line. Wow.
Yeah. Literally caught him pretty off guard.
Yeah, I mean, that's
understandably so.
Bound to happen. Oh, golden fit though. Wow.
Okay.
Okay,
the shock
Germany
beam.
has it.
Perfect timing. Yeah, and that's gonna be a mega dodge from Kevin. I wonder if he's still on the mega on Australia's screens because if he is.
I just don't believe he gets first here though.
No, yeah, pretty much a little shot of that. It's gonna be Crash in 3rd, Germany getting 2, 3, 4 again, and I think that's 6 in the back. Question mark or 2, 3, 4, 6, I think is what we saw at the end there for Germany. So that shock doing wonders for them. And Peralta so far, I mean, that you mentioned 2 before, now 3 shocks in the first 5 races, and I feel like that's got to be looking good.
So my guess is Kevin freshly pulled that mega previous set because what you really wanted to do there was shock Verley after the boost panel, and I believe he could have maybe beat him if he had done that. But I don't think they had time to really do that, and that was definitely an improvised shock from Germany. But they won the race. From their situation, that's about as best as you could ask for with Verley having that breakaway. Yeah, really.
And so that'll basically, just tighten up this match a little bit more like that.
Right.
But yeah, hats off to, again, Germany. I mean, of course, it's Coconut Mall, which is a bagging course that, you can't go backwards on. You're stuck sitting at that item box and kind of waiting around for a bit. But it is something that, hats off still, all the same. And I wonder now what these two teams pick. 1-5 being the Australian positions, the top half at least.
Okay, so
2, 3, 4. So NC4 BC being the pick. So Germany seeming to really eye those drafts at the beginning of the race.
Pretty standard for Germany. Australia, I guess MC3 is kind of standard. So we do get MC3 here.
Talk about maybe why MC3? Why MC3 in this situation? Because, at first glance, it's a circuit, right? And I think most people, when they see circuit, it's like, okay, that's just a random course. Why are you giving your first place?
Yeah, so I personally never advocate for a track like this. And the reason behind why I don't is because there's always tracks like Koopa Cape or maybe Grumble Volcano or, even like other stuff. Like I honestly prefer a Delfino Square if I'm going pure luck.
Sure.
But the thing is no matter what you pick here, like if it's a luck track, it's going to cause the spots to shift, and that's exactly what you want. You want to try to you want to get Germany out of the top as quick as possible. I mean, because if you do that, then you could you could just get into the top quicker because you have the better items in the back.
Sure. And I think what Australia really eyed at the beginning of with MZ3 is, I think with being able to back spam on especially the opening turns, opening up, creating an opening for maybe some of their players in the back to catch up.
I'd say it's kind of risky to back your first item, but in the end, it's still like it's not that big of a risk. So he actually can red him. He pulled a fib there, but he had another anyway.
Yeah, he was going to get owned either way. So it's Germany in 2-3-4 it seems, and Barry stuck up all alone by their loans themselves.
I knew that was
lag
going to happen.
Coming in, that's going to land.
So Kevin was ahead on his screen the whole time. I don't know if you could see, but he was trying to pace back, but Crash was also pacing back.
Yeah.
So they were just rubber banding each other.
Lap 3 here to end it off.
Oh,
that
no.
Bat Banana being in the perfect position. A Mega coming in for Australia. Is it just an anticipation of Shock? No, it's not going to be an Australian Shock coming here. Maybe Germany has it, but they don't have anything to use it for if they do. Germany going to maybe end this race off in the worst of spots possible.
Man.
6, 7, 8. And Australia, a huge race for them to just hold it up in the front and coast away.
That banana hit was the difference between like
literally
fourth, maybe third, probably fourth. So definitely mattering. Obviously, 3 greens was not the pull he wanted to see there. Again, like 1 shroom could have got him back to fourth.
Yeah.
Either way, big race for Australia here.
For sure. Yeah, and I think, one of the things I guess I think about a lot really is just like sometimes like you go into a circuit race and you manage to not only hold that top spot but just get insane spots and Shock doesn't happen. No shells come. That was not a typical kind of MC3 race.
I don't believe Germany played that right. At least I'd assume not, because if you look at the top after lap 1, I believe it was like Australia like top 2 or maybe even top 3. I don't quite remember. But either way, you ideally need a guy that's like competing, like either goldening up. I don't think you could afford to hold dodges early on here. I just because it's a gamble, right? You cannot lose the bill.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like this track in general. I didn't explain that at the start. Right. You really cannot lose the bill on this track in specific. So you literally have to bill or pray that a guy stars you. So we do see a DC here again. 9 out of 9 players.
And that is Germany again. So that's actually pretty concerning for them.
So I believe they really want to reset here.
Yeah, they probably end up wanting to do that. You would think.
So I mean, we'll see.
Well, I'll get my bottle of Pellegrino then. In the meantime.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad play.
And yes, it's just sparkling water. I don't know what you guys might be thinking about, but assuming a DC here, yeah, okay. So we'll be seeing a DC here. It is bright and early for us. Super not the case for Australia, and for Germany, it's kind of chill. We're spread across all the time zones of the world here.
Right. So waking up at 7 a.m. here for this match. You guys have no idea how much effort goes into this.
Yeah, it's insane. Just even waking up on a
so I woke up. You said you were up the whole night.
Yes, a very fun time. I mean, honestly, it's cool. Like, I feel like that's one of the things that we don't really get to do with this game is just like the in-person element. I mean, generally with events.
Right.
But, I mean, with that being said, that includes productions, I guess. So that's cool to kind of play around with,
Yeah.
It's cool to do. I got my Bayern Munich shirt out. In support of the German folk.
I unfortunately just have red because this is all I have.
But that kind of goes with it, right? Because Australia doesn't have a single shard of red.
I'd say while I believe Australia are the favorites to win this match, I personally am biased towards Germany.
Right.
Germany having some of my best friends on it, so I really want Germany to win this match.
Yeah, I feel like you have a unique perspective with, just having been as tight with, especially Crash, who I know is one of the kind of like the leaders generally of Germany as time has gone on.
One of the better players in Germany. I'd say he's the best. He's been the best for years. So I did have insider information for Germany here.
Let's speed up.
So actually, Kevin last night decided to go out clubbing. So he's currently he's currently on a hangover right now.
Oh no!
But you know,
I hate to see it.
He's still you know, out there showing that he's pretty competent. So I don't know.
Okay, so what time is it there? It's not even. It's like 2 PM.
Yeah, so he's like, had time to recover.
He definitely has that time. I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about what kind of.
It depends, right? Because if you drink that much, you could just.
It could go. It could go two ways. It could go two ways. I feel like there's some people that like can't sleep much after they drink. But I just hope Kevin's doing all right. Because they definitely will need him. I think he is their MVP as a whole. Which, if we're if we're still waiting for players to go to the room, I don't think we got a chance to look at the Germany roster as a whole.
Oh yeah, we could go back
maybe
and look
go
at that.
over to the roster as well there. But yeah, it's Kevin, Crash, Lucid. That is not Sane Captain. That is Captain running and bagging. Sane is just a simple runner as it is. But yeah, Kevin, the MVP, averaging around 110 a war. And it's been cool to see, honestly. I mean, as a whole, Germany has been one of the powerhouses, like the regular powerhouses in the Mario Kart Wii community. I think like sort of taking a dip there in last year's World Cup because they got put in that group of death with who was it? Norway.
Yeah, I believe they lost.
Did we really get all of UK, Germany, and England in a group? Wow,
I think so. Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate, and I think I think that they ended up losing to Norway in one of the last matches.
Yeah,
them to get out.
So like that 10th looks bad, but like with context, it's like no, they ended up losing to like really solid teams.
Yeah. So like Eric already said, Mies are not correct.
Yes, nothing is correct here.
Nothing is correct
Stop
here,
flaming.
except the names.
Stop flaming! Oh my God!
No, I'm not flaming.
You're literally flaming me right now.
I'm letting people know that these Mies do not represent our players.
Correct. But all that said, one of the things about this lineup, and one of the interesting things to know that is that Germany is subbing one of their players out after game one.
Right.
One of their main runners can't play after, so we'll be keeping an eye out for how that goes. And did you have insight on who that was subbing out?
Actually, for Saiyan, Jonas will be subbing in.
Mm-hmm.
So Jonas, AP2 player. He's been one of AP2's best players. I'd say last year he was actually their best player. This year I don't believe he plays so much, but even so, solid player nevertheless.
Wait, so who are they subbing out for again, or subbing in for again?
So they're subbing Saiyan out for Jonas.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, we'll be seeing them come in. Jonas, yeah, a really solid player generally,
right?
And hopefully able to play that support role. Saiyan has been kind of impressive in the group stage. I think like doing really, really well against Japan. I think like kind of holding it up for them.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Personally, I didn't have high hopes for him going in. That's just because he hasn't been around. I believe he just came back this summer, but it looks like he's not that rusty and he's doing all right out there.
Yeah, not at all, as it seems. But yeah, we're still waiting for our players to get in the room here, and we will be starting momentarily.
So Germany out of resets. So that's the last one we'll see.
Did they? I don't think they had to reset the room though for the.
Oh no! You are actually right. Yeah.
Actually
so it happened fourth race the last time they DC'd. So they still have another. So we could see this again.
Correct. So.
Yep.
We'll see if that ends up being crucial for them. Maybe they DC again, and that's clutch.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't see that just for the viewing experience.
Yes,
but,
I love my viewing experience with every single match being a DC fest. That would be ideal.
Yeah, this is. I don't know. My matches I play, I usually don't see it, but I don't know. Always don't want to see it for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I think we have most of our players getting into the room now, but we'll be getting started relatively shortly here. And again, this is this is what a match that what has been tight, has been kind of. Australia's been getting the race wins for the most part, and especially after that last 1, 3, 4, 5. So we'll be seeing here if we, what can we expect from this Germany side, and see if they're kind of resilient and coming back.
Australia definitely. I don't know. It's still close. Germany could still, come back. It's about the same as the GP started from the results, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, 6 races?
Yeah, something like that.
I believe it's either 6 or 7. I'm going to go with 6.
Something like that. Yeah, we should be. I think we're on race 7 coming up here. So.
Yep.
All right.
So Koopa Cape coming in for Australia, Germany, N64 Bowsers, and we have Koopa Cape.
Yes.
So this is a track I don't really like picking in the odds and even spots. I like to reserve it for pure bottom, just because this track completely minimizes any break you could get essentially.
Yeah.
Second could get a green. Mid spots could get shrooms, and wow, Barry getting bumped off at the start. So this is actually huge. It is very easy to fall behind on this track, and he had an item that could have propelled him forward. We won't see this, and first lap matters a lot on this track.
You'll see how it turns out, but yeah, Barry getting a rough start here, and we'll end up moving on to 8th place.
Oh, he pulls the bill.
Oh, yeah, talk to us about why that's such crucial information.
So normally here what you'd want to do is drop stars for your guys, and both of the guys will just sit at the set and chain items. Usually once you get a star, you just want to hold on to it. But the thing is with Bill, you definitely don't want to hold on to a star. You're ideally going to want to get the shock. So, but the thing is because both of them are sitting at the set, I believe if Solar's smart enough, he'll catch on. If you see a guy just chaining stars that, you had 2 and 2 together, okay, well, that means they have Bill. So...
Right.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, especially on a track like Koopa Cape. Where
so he actually used the Bill. He used the Bill, and he pulls the TC.
I wonder if he was, like, forced to do that or something. Like,
so,
you typically don't want to do that.
Well, I'd say he was forced by, like, looking at the pack. Like, you could hold it and be okay. I don't know if he gets into first off of it. So, he'd probably just want to use it, try to, like, get into, like, 7th or maybe, because it left him in 6th.
But especially on a track like Koopa Cape where there's no going backwards, it's just like such crucial information.
So shrooms matter a lot here, like more so than holding a dodge.
Crash! What happened? He just fell off in first. Oh, did he get like fib sniped or something? Oh my god!
We didn't get to see.
No. Edison is nodding his head. Yes, yeah, that was a fib snipe on him.
Okay, so you got fib snipe
or green snipe or something. I don't know, or fell off. I don't know. One of those.
Oh, wow.
Either way, it's going to result in Australia having top 2 here, and Crash needs to recover here. He needs to do some work here for Germany. He's in 2nd place, but will he be able to hold it?
Yeah, he decides to take the box. Lockie is ahead of him on his screen.
And the held blue here for Barry.
Yeah, so
that red.
I think that's okay.
That draft.
I don't think you should have went for that strat.
Yeah, you just lose time from the draft.
Oh my! And he hits the zapper.
The nerves that are hitting.
They're top 4.
He gets the shroom, but it's not going to be enough. Barry has shrooms, I think. Oh!
No, Barry had the blue the whole time,
right.
but
so
still.
They still get top 3-5. And
that is not what you want to see for Germany.
That does bite. That does bite hard.
Crash should have probably had 3rd for free there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe depending on first. Wait, Edison, what did he do? You can just say it. Oh, he got shocked. Okay, yeah, that's way less. Sorry, we're just like dunking on Crash
there was
for no
a
reason.
Shock?
Yeah,
so there was a shock that we
just
missed entirely.
No,
we switched, we faded away right as shock happened.
It's like a 2-second delay too. It literally had to have been frame perfect.
Wow.
That's top 3-5 and last for Australia, so really pretty big for them. Going into the second half, the Warrior already had a 30-point lead. Why not make it, double that?
Yeah.
Germany have a hill to climb, and I feel like we very much see at least the effect of this hangover in live. Real time.
Right.
Because, we're so used to seeing Kevin, at least I'm used to seeing Kevin perform really well and be, like, always up at the front, and I really haven't seen him once.
No, I saw him in the first GP like 2 or 3 times.
Okay,
remember Mario Circuit when he got hit out of 2nd by Crash?
True.
He was up on that track.
Maybe Crash went clubbing with him.
In Mushroom Gorge, he was up there, but I believe Germany shocked. I don't know if he made it over the gap or not, but he was their highest position for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's a 60-point cliff they're looking at.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. This is hard.
They bust out the luge. I super respect it. We'll see if it ends up paying off for them. I'll be honest. I mean, I think there's good bit of RNG with this track that lets you come back, but I feel like I don't know. There's a good bit of matches that just doesn't happen, and people just like front run it more and more. I don't know. We'll see if that ends up being the case yet again here. But certainly Germany, if they want a hope here in this match 1, they have to start getting things together. If they want a chance at least maybe taking this match 1, especially when this is like their supposedly, their starting lineup that they want to have. They do start off in 2-3-4 with a good start and a bomb. I
don't know how useful this is. He might decide to just flat out back it soon.
I thought maybe as soon as he got that back, the view there.
The wheelie bump is definitely So he just threw it forward. It actually hits solar. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I mean, I think as soon as he got that back view on people right before shortcut, I just was wishing he threw it there because we saw Australia get up into a top spot, and they could be holding more shrooms. I think
so the thing is it's kind of easy to avoid if you just see it there, but it would have at least caused him to do something. Whereas because his players were close to him, he didn't really have many opportunities with the bomb.
Barry's dead set on holding the star from way far back here. I'm pretty sure that just means they have shock.
So
but
one guy's billing, the other guy I believe he went around cut. Yeah, so Australia had it.
No other shock dodges for them though, so it's Australia all in all these bottom spots. Probably,
I just don't think it matters. He's getting first here.
First for sure, but will they get more than that? I think Germany in the worst spots you could possibly have. But no, it's Kevin and another person for Germany able to salvage. That's going to be Sane. So they get 2-3. I think Australia getting 4th there. But what is the answer from Crash and the remaining part of this Germany roster?
Close finish. Let's find out.
Yeah, I mean that it looked like Luigi Circuit was paying out for them. They got into top spots pretty quickly there and managed to stay up in there for a good bit.
The Australia got shocked for them, unfortunately. So that just seals the deal on this track every single time.
Right.
That's if you have a dodge, which Barry was holding one.
2. Yeah, it's gonna be 1-4-5. I think that's 7-10 for Australia. So
yeah, losing race.
For winning race for Australia for sure.
Yeah, losing race for Germany.
So, I mean, that's the end of 2 GPs at this point. And Germany still haven't really had much juice in them. I feel like knowing the kind of mentality that you could be in, given all these circumstances, I feel like Germany might be at this point all right. Can go next.
I don't think it's quite.
You don't think they'll do that? You don't think they'll do that?
I don't think they should. I personally I would.
Oh, for sure, yeah. They don't. They shouldn't.
No. Well, yeah. Of course they shouldn't. I don't think I would just yet. I think this next race is going to be the one that actually matters.
Yeah.
So if they get a big race on this next one, then they're definitely in it, for sure. So if they get a top 2, 4, or top 3, that's what they're really looking for.
Right.
And,
well, they're hoping for it. They're going down the circuit list.
So
apparently.
yeah, I was going to say, if you're going off the philosophical reasoning behind why they would do this, maybe they are tilted because this is just not something that I would ever advocate for personally. Maybe they are feeling defeated.
But I do know that Luigi Circuit is something they regularly pick, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but if Luigi Circuit doesn't work out for them, Mario Circuit, it's just going off of oh, maybe it'll work. You don't know if it'll actually work.
I guess the thing is, they're thinking in defense of Germany here, they have to get top spots. They have to have a huge race, and I feel like it's much more probable to do that coordinating it on a track like this.
That's if you assume that you can't outplay your opponent,
which is maybe indication of where Germany is feeling right now.
That's exactly what I'm trying to.
Because the thing is, I think they can take them on a normal day. I think they can take them.
I'd say they're pretty close to even.
Yeah.
What you don't want to see here is top 4 breakaway like it is. That's kind of bad for Germany. So they're not top 4 breakaway. I'm just saying they don't want to be in the top 4 positions.
Right. And yeah, they're 1-3-5, just kind of autopiloting there. And of course, we do see Crash with a bill, which is huge. But also something of note was Barry having those triple greens, actually getting the bagger from Germany, knocking them, which makes sure that Australia is going to be
Lucy
last.
getting blued here. Bill's still in play for Crash.
I think he just has to he has to know that Australia's in last. And at this point, he has to play the prediction game. I think he saw Nuclear go into a mega. I wasn't sure about that.
This is just not going to be that great for him.
2 stars in play.
It's going to end here, and I believe. Well, let's see. It takes him here.
Verley still in first. No shot. Blue shot coming at the end. Will it connect?
No
way. It does.
Did. Wow.
Okay, I don't know if he takes first there, but if he
Barry
does,
Barry definitely got first.
Yeah, there's no shot.
Yeah, Barry definitely got first.
But we can dream a little for like at least 10 seconds.
Okay.
That's a 1-3-4 if that is the case.
You know what? I'm gonna hope the crash got first. We'll see.
Let's see, because I think this first place determines if they can come back.
Yeah, it'll make it interesting.
Mathematically, they definitely still are in it.
It's a 6-point swing if it's first.
Yeah. That's
huge.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah. I feel like we get generally like as an audience can sometimes 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I mean, fair. Yeah.
That was just expected.
2, 3, 4. You can't. That's what it is.
No, when a guy's even further behind and he's from Australia, I expect to just lose.
It's just and I'm sure Australia's thinking the same thing when it's like, oh well, they're from Germany, so.
Yeah, no, that happens to them, from their perspective as well a lot.
Yeah.
It's just something you learn to take. You also get some eventually sometimes, but
right.
Yeah, that's definitely not something Germany wanted to see, because a 1-3-4 and a 2-3-4 is a big difference.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention. Is like I feel like sometimes as spectators we can kind of fixate sometimes on oh okay, they just lost like 3 instead of getting 15 points they get 12 points. That's only 3 points. Well, no, it's like you have to factor in the other end of that.
Yeah.
And it makes that like little game of
it's not just 3 points, it's a 3-point swing.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Other direction.
Right.
So
everyone for some reason deciding the gentlemen to Peach, which I guess sure go off. I don't know why Australia would pick it themselves, but
they just want to have fun. I'd say. I mean, I like fun too.
Yeah, me too. This is a 55-point lead, so it's really not the most, honestly.
It's unlosable if they go forward.
Right.
It doesn't look like they are.
So they have 3 more races left, Germany, to patch up all these holes here that they've kind of generated.
Oh, wow. So Crash,
nice draft.
Yeah,
here.
Crash getting perfect draft. And it's kind of easy to maintain top here. Out of like all the circuit tracks, this is one that like I feel people overbag on a lot of the times.
Definitely.
It's kind of easy to just run this one. But I think Nuclear is just at first on his screen.
Yeah.
So he's gonna give it to him.
Yeah, nice attempt. I think he had a green snipe onto Nuclear. Oh, sorry, the bagger there.
Oh, that was good. He's just driving in the. He's driving in the water on his screen.
I think
he's not in the water on his.
It's in the and getting the grid. It just bounces off. Does end up getting his teammate there, but it might be fortunate for him. Gets a star in 7th, which is a great pull, but you have to wonder how the bagging duel is going.
Okay, Barry Mega.
Barry with the Mega in 2nd, ready to whip this out whenever. And Australia, you see them in last by a mile, but Germany actually going forward there. I don't know what to make of that. What do you think of that?
I think that says that they have it.
So, Barry, what are you going to predict here? And I'm sure Germany have no idea that they have Mega.
They have to right now.
Right now, if they don't want him to use the Mega,
so
it's too late. I think that's going to be both.
They're in 2 Megas. Well, they can
Blue
wait
Shell
a bit.
coming in at the end. They can't cancel it now.
Okay.
They do cancel it. Ends up dodging at least Barry here. That's going to be a first place for him. Germany with 2, 3, 4, 5. If they just waited a little bit more.
Yeah, I think maybe on their screen he was out. I think like they were like, yeah, just cancel Blue and it'll be out. Like they prayed for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, like, you know, that's the difference between getting first and like getting second. Which, that's huge.
Again, we've talked about it. Like it's a difference.
They need this, but I mean, yeah,
it's still a winning race for them. Let's not get it too twisted, right?
Right.
So I think at this point, 2 races down, you're down by like 45 or something like that. At that point range, I feel like there are different opinions. Okay, so that's 1. They only got 2, 3, 4 there, really. So that's I think a +7 for them.
Germany taking these baby steps. They ideally need bigger ones. I don't know.
I feel like they are now ready for this match. If you know what I mean. Like
so?
they are now.
They're in there.
Yes, I feel like they're now finally just like mentally there.
Barry absolutely smurfing right now. Like, oh my god,
he is going off. It's kind of insane. I mean, one of the keys that we talked about to this match that I feel like has been going really well for Germany is shocks. Like that's something that has been, I think, very much in their ballpark. Which I mean, I don't know.
They've had a decent amount. It's not like
it's not like Australia hasn't gotten
the difference here is not coming down to the shocks entirely. Like I believe Australia may still have more, but I don't think that's why they're losing this match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 2 races left, I believe.
Yeah, it's looking, I don't know, curtains at this point. You have to have a pretty stellar performance if you're Germany. And I don't think we have any trolling penalties, although that might be worth.
Yeah,
I have not had a single glimpse on.
See, that'll
anything.
definitely throw a wrench into the situation.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we're just sitting here in our beach chairs having a good old time.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Please. Oh dang, Lucid got a disc error on trip at land, but yeah, that's really all that's happened. No trolling penalties or anything as of yet.
A disc error in first randomly.
That bites so much. Actually, that DC might have been like the one. Of
No,
the
that's a huge swing.
Yeah, that I think that, and like obviously they had the top 3-5 up to that, but, you know, for Germany it's just been like the difference has been like 2, maybe 3 big races from Australia, and then Germany having like a lot of little wins.
Yeah, exactly. So every time Germany gets shocked, they don't fully capitalize on it. It seems.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we tally up just those 2 races alone, it's 12 points that they could have had in the other direction, which that matters.
It does. We'll see if they're able to recover from the mistakes that they have made, and just like the unfortunate things that happen.
Yeah.
2 races left. Jungle Parkway. What do you make of this track, especially if
So I actually love this for even starting odds. It's perfectly fine. The thing is if you start odds, it's kind of easy to draft first here.
Yeah. I mean, we see Australia already booking it near top 3.
It's easy to draft first, and for the sets, there's limited like resources that you could get. So for every box set, for the first 2 specifically, it's kind of hard to get a box. The further ones, it's a lot easier. Those 2 won't make it so that people could just get into the front as easy.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising because at the first box set you see like a lot of item boxes. You would think that like there's enough, but what ends up happening is that this target POW coming in onto Australia's heat. That's going to be top 2 getting kind of ousted from there, and I think that's they're now in 2-4. Crash is going to settle, I guess, for this DC.
Okay, so he does decide to go backwards. This is just the correct play, in my opinion. Golden will get him a lot further than if he just didn't have it.
Right. I wonder why he didn't
So
just like
he's in
stop
the
before
wall.
boxes, honestly, because like he
Yeah,
just gave them better
I
item
think
boxes.
I think he was like praying that he could maybe lag the TC. I think that's what he was going for.
Right. Okay. Fair. Yeah. Let's see what he gets. A star here could be crucial. And the bagging duel on the minimap, one's going back, so I'm curious who that could be.
I was going to say definitely needs to use the star here. I believe it's Lucky going backwards.
Am I going forward now?
So Karalte just reversed to try to hit him. I believe Lucky broke his ankles.
Yeah. Wait. That's Kira going backwards.
Well, exactly, but Lucky has the shock, like going forward is what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure I saw a bill movement, like a bill jitter. But you might be right, actually. Either way, you're wanting to get into this cannon for your Crash, especially right now. But Barry slows down. What just happened? Barry kind of messed up there, right? But the fib on him, that's crucial.
Lucky shock for sure. So top 2 Australia.
That I don't know what happened with Barry there, but just missing out on the dodge because of that. It could have been a top.
It mattered. Okay, so that kind of takes Crash out.
Yeah, Kevin wanting to bring those triple greens out to prevent from getting bad banana themselves, but
he needs to use this right now so he doesn't star this guy.
Yeah, doesn't get the draft there.
Okay, so he had shrooms actually. It doesn't matter. No box though, but
what is happening to Australia? I mean, I see a few of them. Verly, are you going to be able to make the shroom properly? Because if you don't, you might have lost a spot
maybe
to
third.
Crash.
I think Australia still got top 2 though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that is, if they do in fact clutch up the top 2, that should be GG at this point.
Yeah, no, that's literally done.
It should be the case. We'll take a look at the results here. I think that again is a Australia shock for them. But either way, if that is the case, congrats to Australia for the match 1 win. Of course, going into the match as the number 1 seed here. Top 3, okay.
Oh, it is a top 3. Yeah, he was close to the guy on the line. It showed that he flashed a third, but it was very close.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, I think something we haven't touched on, we touched on for Germany the lack of execution for their shocks, but conversely, I think Australia has generally executed well.
Right, so we did see that slip up before the cannon on Barry, but the thing is I think that they were so congested in there that right at the cannon that it honestly didn't matter too much because I think they ended up dodging 3 of their guys.
Yeah, they did. Either 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was 2 in the cannon. I believe another guy he dodged before it.
Yeah. So I mean, it ends up just working out for them.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think they were just going for the quad dodge, and oh wow, they only got 3 people.
They're still.
Yeah, 3 people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a
That's just an instant win.
yeah, they tried overachieving.
Yes.
Um,
GV2, interesting.
I think that's signaling they want to get it over with.
Yeah, true. I was about to say, are they really just that much on the all run? No, they just want a D right now.
Yeah, they really want to get out. It's the shortest track. Why not?
And I think that's probably in hopes of their last player being able to play the next match, maybe, or at least play as much as they possibly can.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure. Either way, if the track doesn't matter, provided Australia does not troll a lot. Many times, in fact.
Yeah, they literally just cannot afford to. Australia is going backwards, which, okay, go off.
So, this...
Okay, they end up going backwards for just a bit, just to make sure that
okay.
they secure the last place.
Yeah, he went for the box. I think he's trying to get Bill before someone of the racers pulls it, which is
Bold.
a good strat.
Yeah, it is. Bold and Crash to go for the draft there, and for the tight line net that Wendy's holding banana too.
Crash is just trying to get a feel for them, I think. I don't know if you saw that right at the start, but he tried throwing it so it would hit him without actually targeting him, which I think he just wants to see, like, okay, well, how laggy are these guys actually?
Yeah, that actually is good information to collect over time. Yeah. Ooh, nice backspin on Kevin's part to be able to land it on him. Is Kevin going to be able to clutch up now? We've seen him dance around in top spots for sure, but being able to clutch something up, especially with item play, maybe a snipe. No, not going to
Kevin
happen.
does get bananaed here. Top 2 for Australia.
Yeah, that should be a fib.
So Kiralte billing actually,
Nice roll.
and yep, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really did.
I mean, yeah. So Australia up 1 match. In this best of 3 series.
Thoughts on Australia as we've seen them, so far.
So no surprises here. Australia, like I said, I believe they are the clear favorites, and they're definitely proving, why we actually think that. They're playing pretty well. Really no major flaws from them from what I've seen. Barry, I think he got around 130 or so. So he absolutely went off. Huge carry for them. And, in terms of bagging, I believe towards the end, they started picking up the slack they had at the start. Because I believe it was even at the start, then they started making more and more of a lead.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I was saying Germany woke up maybe, but even towards the end, they were still getting good races. So I don't know what to make of that, honestly.
I think their win condition, Germany, is to have Kevin and Crash play absolutely insane, which so far we haven't really seen. I do think that like Shocks, even if they're not in their favor, is going to be all right. But they either need a plethora of Shocks or they need Crash and Kevin to step up, which right now haven't seen either, and unfortunately that's the reason for their loss.
Yep. You hate to see it if you're a Germany fan, but for Australia, this could be a dream run for them. Like, honestly,
yeah, they've never made it this far.
Yeah, Australia's had good players generally, right? Like, in the past.
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely a nice comeback for them as in terms of status as a national team.
I'd say that they've always been not like a threat per se,
Right.
but they've been a team that you don't want to just sleep on. You can't pick meme combos against.
Right, exactly. And so it's cool to see them in this kind of way, keeping up with them. But yeah, it'll be 1-0 for Australia to start off our mornings here. Of course, we have plenty more action to come our way.
At least one more.
At least one more match.
Maybe we'll get 2. Maybe
2.
Maybe.
But I'm sure Germany's trying to get in this their next match with their last player. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break. But when we come back, match 2 is coming up. Don't go away. More Mario Kart action to come up. Can Germany make the comeback, or will Australia lock out? Well, find out soon.
Find out on the next episode.
All right. What up, everyone?
What up? What up?
Welcome back. Edison, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. What about you, Ari?
I'm doing pretty swell. And we're going to have, again, Edison on the mic here coming in for Hawk. And just like last time, we DDR to start this match off again, I guess. Do you remember how Germany did on this course last time. Because I think it might have been Australia race when 36-25 maybe.
I think that sounds. It was. Yeah, I think that's right.
Right,
I do
yeah.
think it was in Australia when the first time around.
So Edison, you from the production perspective, I mean, of course, just covering all ends and pieces of a production, you might get lost in that. But I am curious what your thoughts were from the Germany side and the Australia side from the first match. Do you think that this will be a 2-0?
I mean, if Germany doesn't get something figured out soon, it's honestly looking like it's just gonna be another Australia win.
Yeah, it was rough. Like,
Yeah, say the least.
Yeah, it was rough, and it's just rough. Like, I don't know what's the deal, but it's not like shocks. Like, getting shocks isn't the issue. At
No,
least.
I feel like for in Australia's end, they got shocks, managed them well, and not only that, when they didn't get shocks, they salvaged pretty nicely. It wasn't really something that Australia had too much trouble with. It just kind of looked like they had, a game plan going into it. They executed it nicely, and it just went really according to plan.
Yeah, no, honestly, and I think that's the kind of thing they're looking to recover a bit. And I mean, for a while, I would bet that like they were probably hard D from the first match, like after like race 9 or something, and at that point, just getting ready mentally. It's lap 3 here. Germany has some of the middle spots. The shock does come out at the end, and if nothing else, will prevent Australia from like getting a shrooms and taking the shortcut there. But Kevin actually does end up getting hit out there. We'll see what the response is like in this first race of match 2 here. But I think it's going to be a pretty similar result in comparison to the first game. And yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely what I have my eyes out for here is what is the response here from Germany? Will they be able to have something go according to plan here? Well, it looks like this is a bit better, according to their plan at least. But Australia with the key race win still, and that's going to be Verley in first place, clutching out what should be a +3 win, I think. So, job well done to them. But yeah, I definitely have my eyes on just like, I don't know, general presence at the top, and especially shock execution. I feel like is going to be pretty important for this.
And funnily enough, a little stat that I had noticed casting,
Yeah.
or handling the production side.
Sure, yeah.
Germany has not gotten a single first place.
Oh, right, true. I totally forgot about that.
In what is
sick
now
stat.
13 races. That's another first coming out for Australia.
Yes.
And not getting first, it obviously limits your race wins, and we kind of saw that going into the latter half of the last match. They just couldn't get those big races. They kind of just settled for 2, 3, 4, like at best. But yeah, we'll see if they can get their footing. Race 2 coming in Mushroom Gorge.
Yeah. I think
And
what
looks like a DC.
So this is just what Germany was actually talking about. Some tea, if you will.
So
It's looking like just a DC for Barry.
Yeah, it looks like Barry is all of Team Germany coming out in the bracket chat saying Barry needs to turn off his stream because he is lagging insanely on their ends or something like that. And I think there's some amount of lag that you just kind of own up to. I think in just like, yes, this is Germany versus Australia. This is cross-continental. This is like, it's insane to be able the expectations are low. But,
Right.
I think especially if you're lagging and you're streaming, probably an easy call to just be like, all right, we probably can't stream you. So if that's the case, probably have to just chill with Crash's stream as it is to chill with this one, which, unfortunate, Barry's stream quality was nice, but,
Yeah, win some, you lose some.
Yeah. But this race should count still, so we'll see what the lack of presence from Barry will translate to for the results of this one. Because, I mean, yeah, Barry has been insane. That first match, I don't know how many points he ended up getting, but
A lot.
a lot. I definitely think, like, I don't know, above 120, is that safe
Oh
to
yeah,
say?
I think that's pretty safe to say.
Yeah. Which is a ridiculous point count to be at, and say that's safe to say. Either way, it's lap 3 Mushroom Gorge. Can Germany capitalize on the undermanned effort here from the Australian side. Is a POW coming in for Crash. He will be able to chain it to Shrooms. Yes, it is going to be Shrooms, but will he be able to capitalize? Will a shot come in at the end? There's someone in the start behind, but it doesn't matter. Ooh, I think that's going to be Australia top 2 still all the same.
Even with a man down, they still manage to just, they just keep going.
Yeah.
Like-
They really can't. It's such a struggle to get them out of these top spots, and I don't know what the issue is, but yeah, they're just keeping it running. So we'll see what the call ends up being for, or the results end up being here.
I haven't added the result. I completely forgot.
Let's go, Hawk. Let's go.
Yes.
I think it was 32-29 for the first race, or whatever. And then the second race, top 2, 7, 9, 10. Although
7, 8, 10. Top
7,
2,
8,
7,
10.
8, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I put the numbers or the
You put 1, 2, 7, 8, 10.
7,
Mm-hmm.
8,
Attaboy.
and then save as, but I don't have the first race, so
Yeah. All right. Any Twitch chatters in chat?
Australia's positions.
Because I know that got 32 and 29, which, for what it's worth, we probably will be seeing a DC here, so we definitely have time to chill. After 2 races, the result should be relatively... yes. Should be relatively close.
Save save.
But it's funny that, like, yeah, as soon as, like, Germany was like, yeah, he's, like, really laggy, please turn his stream off. He just ends up DCing anyway. So that ends up checking out, really. If that like, I don't know. I feel like without specific proof, I would have been like, I kind of probably should have specific proof. Oh, yeah, baby. There we go. Let's go, Hawk. Can we get a let's go, Hawk in the chat? Let's go, Hawk. All right.
I don't know how I broke it, but I did.
So you want to go into this tab here and hit the save. Production's a life, I will tell you.
Let's go.
You want to go into this one here and then hit this button and then hit this button and then hit this button.
You did it.
Yes, correct. Yeah, your main bit is you'll want to just.
Yeah, I didn't save in the right tab.
There you
I
there
saved
you
in
go.
the first tab.
Edison trolled it in the same way.
You did?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Oh wait, I think they just ended up getting the same result because race 2 ended up being 32-29 and
Was
race
it?
yeah and
You really
race
just put the same thing?
yeah, just put the same thing. It doesn't it checks out.
Alright, let's see if we can do it right.
I'm rooting for you, bud.
You guys want to be on camp?
Sure, why not?
Alright.
We've got time to kill.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Yeah,
Save as.
correct.
Let's see. Did I do it? I did it.
You are
Alright,
so goated.
Let's put you. Welcome, only casters. You guys are going to be live
I'm-
in a sec.
I'm so proud of both these folks here coming in club for us. But yeah, I mean we're big chilling right now, and Edison so far everything is going according to plan here, basically for Australia, right?
Yeah, they just keep doing what they were doing. It doesn't really look like they're gonna have too much of a problem if things don't change for Germany soon in terms of how they're playing.
Yeah,
It's gonna look like just another clean sweep.
And it's funny because I think one of the things I was most looking forward to is just like the success of this bagging strat, which hasn't been a complete like non-factor
Right.
so far. So yeah, I mean 10 races left, of course, plenty of time, and this one at least a better start for Germany. And Australia, I think at this point they're certainly not taking anything for granted.
And for those who don't know, the bagging strat you were talking about was like Australia switching off baggers.
Right,
Is that
exactly.
Have they been doing that? I haven't.
No, they've been doing that throughout group stage, yeah, and they were really successful with it. I think if you go to every like results table, you'll see both baggers. I think it's Solar and Lockie. I think. Basically getting like one person gets like 50, 40, and the other person gets
Right.
like
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
or something like
Is that the
or
case? Was that the
14.
case for last war? I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that
Cool.
was-
Cool. Yeah.
Actually, good point. I don't know if it was the case. I wasn't able to catch it. I wasn't actually tracking
Yeah,
who was.
wasn't
going
too
back
sure.
there, yeah. But yeah, we'll see if it makes presence in this next game.
For sure.
But yeah, I would say I think Germany here definitely have some momentum going their way. I'm curious to see if they if things pan out for them. We'll see if it does, especially with a decent Mushroom Gorge race at least.
Right.
Because I think the last Mushroom Gorge race didn't really go that well for them comparatively. So So, it will be, what is it? I believe we're getting the players into the room right now. We got 7 players in the room. So we got time to kill. Edison, of course, you being a member of USA North. I keep forgetting this. It's just like not. That was my bit about not wanting to do USA West,
Right.
USA East, because like it's just like not natural. Like we talk about East Coast, we talk about West Coast. That's like the thing. We don't talk about like
North South.
the Confederates versus
It's even a little harder just because you have some like northern states or like even some southern states that wouldn't you know it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like
North.
California. Like,
Yeah,
you can be
yeah.
in San Francisco and be in like
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like it's a little weird in that sense, but like either way, you're playing on this team, and you guys have to play against US South, which will be coming up on Sunday, I believe, at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will definitely be tuning into it. You all should be too. What is it like playing a best of 3 series? How would you describe it, and maybe the differences between that and like regular, let's say, group stage match, best of 1?
For better or for worse, I feel like you have a sense of like non-urgency going into like match 1. I feel like sometimes people take the fact that you have more than one war for granted.
Yeah, true.
It's like it's definitely just a little more tiresome for some other players, more so than like just a best of 1.
Yeah, right.
But I think the fact that we have like some pretty competent subs, it makes it so that we can have like people to rely on. So it's not really like the worst thing,
For sure. Yeah, and I think that's the big thing about like games that go the distance. Like, it can really be a struggle, for teams to, like especially some like smaller national teams to really succeed in these stages, because like these matches do go on for a bit, and not everyone can play for that long.
Yeah.
Is the thing. We're not like professional on a stage, and you're getting paid to do it. You're cramming it in between schoolwork and your mom crying at you to go to bed. So, DK Summit will be race 3 here. I don't think anyone being told to go to bed on Germany's side. Maybe Australia, but hopefully should be fine. DK Summit being one of the favorite picks from Team Germany's side, or at least Crash's side.
Definitely Crash, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how he starts off in first place here. Thoughts on first place in general on DK Summit?
It's actually not a track that most teams that I've been on recently have actually picked. I feel like it's pretty good from first. I'm not too good at it myself, but the most important thing is double lap 1.
Sure.
But I think in that sense, second has a bit of an advantage in terms of like how they control first going for double.
Right.
And we'll see up here what Crash decides to do.
Yeah, he actually had to go off the wall to be able to slow down enough to be able to even make this. I think ends up actually bumping Verley off that.
Yeah. One of the Australian members seems to have gotten bumped off, and we're seeing basically what I was saying earlier, just that first lap double, how important it is. Now he has a bit of a lead on second, and if he drives the rest of this race well, it's kind of just wraps.
I mean, yeah, the first lap was actually really huge. Like, he got low jumps, and even the big jump he got, he ended up recovering from that, slowing down just enough to bump the player behind him. Gets the wheelie strategy ball on the ramp towards the end. Missed the trick, sure, but I mean, all in all, a pretty great first lap.
Yeah.
So for Crash here, we're smooth sailing. We don't have another perspective to zoom in between, so we'll settle for just a blue shell POV cam for now, but he'll end up backswinging the double and maybe forcing some other people to not be able to take it. I think I only saw one other person basically go for it, but
yeah, you saw his lead increase a bit. He was the only person I think in like the top one for double, and even with like a little bit of a sloppy last turn, still a decent lead.
Yeah, and one thing to note, I think we finally end up seeing one of the baggers make backwards strat. I think that was Germany that actually made it. Coralto coming in huge for them. He's in the lead in the bagging department, so nobody has shock yet, except maybe Coralto having just gotten these item boxes as we see here up ahead on the screen. No shock to come in play for any target shocks here. Looks like Crash will play it safe. That's probably the right play here. POW does come in, and I have to wonder, it's probably probably a Germany POW at this point.
Yeah, I'd have to assume that had to have been like a denying of double POW.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so Crash coming out to an easy sailing first, slowing down too, so that might be a signal.
Place. Was that third?
I think that might have been third. Oh, wait. Nuclear coming in? Okay, I can't really tell, actually.
Not too sure. I think it was top 2 for sure.
I don't know, because I saw Sane, and I thought he was a second place person, but then Nuclear ends up just coming through.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm confused. We'll see what ends up happening. I don't know why he would have stopped online if that wasn't the case.
Right.
So I am tempted to believe it's top 2, but maybe I just saw something weird. I have not slept after all, so it's probably the case.
I mean, hey, on the bright side, first place for Germany.
Yeah, let's go. It took them,
Yeah.
how many races? 15?
15.
Top
yeah.
2 at that, too. True. So they end up getting top 2, 5.
I think
7 and 10.
Top 2, 5, 7, 10. Yeah. I think at the end, Sane might have been in third at the end. It might have gotten like a bad last turn. But yeah, no, still good race for Germany.
For
it's,
sure.
It's definitely something that they need. It's something that they haven't had in a while. Yeah, so we'll see what they decide to pick out with these.
Yeah,
spots.
I mean, it's definitely the first lead for them in the match, and this is the start that they definitely dreamt of getting the first match to that extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically now for the first time they're kind of on the other side. They're on the other side of what's the saying? Grass is greener, I guess. They're on that other side, and
Something
now,
about a green
now
side.
they're on that something about it. They're on that side now, and they're looking at it, and they're like, "Oh shit, we have a lead. What do we do with that?" They say apparently Moonview Highway is the pick. I'm scared of this though, because yes, it picks it. Last time, I distinctly remember this. Germany and Japan was such a close match until they picked Moonview Highway when they had like top 2 or something. And they ended up getting top 3 fight, and it was against Japan. So similar lag conditions. I think Crash ended up getting bumped out of first, or maybe it was Kevin. And I think lag definitely coming into play here. So I really do want to see what these first turns look like.
Something to note about this track is that drafts and goldens in these first 5-10 seconds are insanely important. Doesn't look like a draft from Australia. It doesn't even look like a golden or like any shrooms coming up from them either.
Really, that's actually pretty rare. We'll see. It looks like Kevin maybe ends up getting the draft next to Crash. A little bit of bumping, but I'm sure they'll get it worked out. So Germany able to hold on to their top 2, which is not something you can take for granted. But after the first 20-30 seconds, you kind of can, unless there's a blue shell or a shot coming through. Which, for what it's worth, while we're looking at, I think is that Funky wasn't last, but they end up running into a car, whether intentionally or not. I'm not sure. I don't think it was because they didn't seem squished. So it looks like Australia, due to an error from Germany's bagger, will be in last place now for the hunt for the shot.
Target power attempt coming from Australia, and it looks successful on Kevin.
Really successful.
Yeah. Looks like he hit the wall or something, but still top 2 from Germany.
Yeah. Lucid coming in through. Maybe it was Lucid the whole time. It could be hallucinating, but it will be at least a top 2 for them. And so far, not too much action for Crash, but definitely some fear of what is happening in the back, what could be happening for Australia, both in the bagging positions and in their maybe 7-8 positions. As we go into lap 3 here, eyes on the shock maybe being used. Solar, the Australian bagger, opting to go on the high route, maybe to avoid. Yep, shock will go in, and that will be a few dodging.
See a bill dodge?
Yeah, that will be it. The case comes up behind. Was that? No, there's no shot that was loose.
No, Australia in 3-4 right now.
Wait, no, that was Sane. Sane, a huge prediction, I think.
Had to have been, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no shot.
I don't think that was a Germany shock, so that had to have been.
both baggers didn't spin out.
Right.
So it's hard to tell, but either way, this is a great opportunity for Germany to come to what might be the biggest lead they've had in the series for sure. But Barry is threatening.
Bomb cart in danger.
He doesn't go for it at the end. The green being so close. I think he
won.
Yeah, I think he won because I think he got a shroom at the end and ends up spamming those greens. Uses the shroom at the very last minute.
Shroomer draft, whatever it may be. Barry clutching it out for Australia at the end right there.
Yeah, I wonder. It just looked like the Crash ended up losing so much time.
Yeah.
For some reason.
What I thought, I was a bit confused. Well, maybe Barry knew what he was going to do the whole entire time with like the draft, or maybe had a shroom. But I was anticipating him to spam his greens at the bomb car at the end. Because Crash, I mean, oddly enough, he just kept his leftmost line. And yeah, Barry coming out first. I mean, yeah, what I thought would happen was Barry was going to snipe the bomb car, but, whether it be a draft or a shroom, whatever it was, he got first. That's kind of what they needed right there. It was looking kind of grim for them towards the beginning of lap 3.
Yeah.
But they salvaged it. They clutched it up.
They really did. So this is never something I like asking, but I'm going to throw it out there and discuss it live on cast. Edison, I know you've been a referee generally in settling match issues on the whole.
Right.
How many times do you have to deal with lag issues, and how are those generally resolved?
So you mean lag issues in terms of
like, let's say X player, totally not Barry, is like maybe lagging a good bit,
okay,
or maybe not. I'm just saying like that's what a team is saying. And at the end, I mean, we did see him speed up, and I was wondering like how did Crash lose speed there? I guess Crash did make some errors. I think. Maybe.
I mean, honestly, from my perspective, that looked pretty normal.
Yeah,
in terms of like an Australia perspective.
Yeah.
I think that was just a matter of having to be a little bit more aware of your opponent.
Right.
I don't think anything that I've been seeing is anything too out of the ordinary. I'm just gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
Haven't really had too many cases in terms of lag like that. In terms of like forcing a sub out. I don't think that'll be happening here. I think Germany just has to get a bit, a bit more aware that they are playing Australia. Some lag like this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as they get that mentality, they'll be fine. Honestly, I think it's just a mentality thing at this point.
I think that's the thing is like that's what's dangerous about this kind of mentality is like it can really be a rabbit hole that you go down.
Yeah.
In terms of just like counting instances and just like mentioning, that's the kind of thing that like will take control of a call and like its kind of environment and its feel. That is a few DCs.
Maybe I
here.
spoke too soon.
That is a room DC. Okay, interesting. Well, no, Verley's the host, but everyone just ends up DCing.
So yeah, sometimes what ends up happening. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say this is the case here, but sometimes what ends up happening is that if a player is lagging a bit more than they should be, they can cause rooms to DC like they did just now.
Yeah.
I'll still stand by what I said earlier. I think that interaction at the end of Moonview was a bit normal, but who knows? Maybe he is lagging a bit, causing the room to have some issues. Not sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up being the case. I think that this will be a DC. A DC on our parts here going into race 5. We'll be settling how this all pans out, but honestly, this might be time for a little breaky. So I think why don't we? I mean, the room should be getting started soon, but definitely might be worth discussing offline for a second. So I think we'll go to a break for a second. It's true. I'll go ahead and help you with it. Why don't you go over to that scene and we'll get that cooking. All right. Welcome back, everybody.
Sorry, we cut your trailer short.
Yes. So we ended up. One of the things we found was actually a lag correction. I think for.
In favor of Australia.
Right. Which, like, I think we. It seems like maybe a player lagging and just like being very difficult to play with, but needing more proof of that. We'll see if that score gets updated or if any action gets taken place after. But in the meantime, Sherbetland to start off race 5 here, I believe. And so, yeah, just to I guess cover it a bit. What is so what happens if like a player like does lag and there's like supposedly proof, like that's generally I think results in like what I think like needing to get another player or something like that, which would be pretty detrimental, right, for Australia, because like Barry's been insane,
Right.
like, generally speaking.
I mean, if his lag is causing these problems, he would need to sub out. I think it's kind of a bit inconclusive at the moment.
Right. The amount of it does require an amount of like proof,
Right.
like and like just getting that proof and like collecting that. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. But for now, we'll be playing it as is. It's a tie match, 122 all, and yeah. So far, I didn't get a glimpse on the bagging duel, but we'll see what the shock ends up being like. Did you end up catching a glimpse on who
I didn't. I just noticed that they're both the same character as well, so it's gonna be a little bit
We
harder.
didn't even see, even with battle glitch. We didn't
Yeah,
even see.
still didn't see at the end
Yeah.
right there.
Well, Germany in 1-3 right now, and all of this talk about lag being said, and all of like the communication around it. Even with it all, this is by far such a better start from Germany
For
on
sure.
the whole. And they've been just having a lot more top spots in general. And we'll see how Crash is able to play against this player who has been the MVP
Was that
for Australia.
Mega's in top 2 for Germany?
Yeah, wow.
Interesting.
Okay, wow.
And something to note: Germany was in last, going around the rock. Is that?
That's an Australia shock, though.
Oh, maybe not.
This is lap 3, keep in mind. So we will see if they end up coming up. That's a bill and a bill for Australia, but a star for Germany. Blooper could have messed them up into the green shell, but that won't be the case here. Crash going for the optimistic 4th place. Ooh, do you go for this against Australia? No, I don't think you do. Tries to drop it,
No
but it won't be
shot.
in time.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's onto a teammate there. That's
Looked
really
like
it.
2 of the top 3 spots for Germany, and I think I saw a ground star coming in for first, so it looks like Germany's bagger did end up dropping a star for them.
Yeah.
Kind of securing them that first. I think it was really close between Australia and Germany at the end right there, so
right.
that kind of widened the gap a bit.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up becoming of it, but I do think that generally, job well done on their part to predict that shock. I mean, fairly predictable, right?
Yeah.
Towards the kind of second item box, the Sherbet land on lap 3 is a rather predictable spot, I think, and that isn't typical for Australia. I feel like generally they have like more, I don't know, generally just thoughtful shocks.
Yeah. I think Germany had a lot of control right there at the end. If it wasn't for the blue
Yeah.
and the POW, they easily just cycle dodges until the end of the lap, and they guarantee at least one dodge.
Right,
they had
right.
2 megas in 1-3. A blue came out, causing first to have to use theirs, and then the POW, forcing second to use his as well. So like aside from that, they kind of had most of the control that race.
Right.
2 dodges in a bill. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah. It's kind of it's that kind of control that we haven't really seen from them so far, but we have kind of seen the like kind of small race wins from Germany. I guess it's more of a question of like, will we see those big race wins that we saw from Australia's part again? But certainly looking to capitalize from their top 2 going into BC Wii, which definitely a pick I see with top 3s. Top 2s, sure, still see as well. But yeah, starting off here in top spots generally is a very nice. Sure, because it's a fronting track, but yes, because you can backspam into the living hell out of your opponents.
A little bit of an odd pick considering, is that Solar's the Daisy? Yeah, Solar on Daisy.
Yeah.
The glitch being a pretty forgiving cut if you're on Daisy. So,
Did Australia get 3-4-5 last race?
they did 3-4-5. Yeah.
So I'm curious that Crash started off in second, and it's like he gave up second, so that first has to deal with 2-3-4 on his own, which it's kind of like dicey, right?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel, so, but ended up getting the star at least, and now is in fourth somehow. I do not know what happened to the rest of this lobby, but I guess everyone went for glitch and failed. I guess maybe. Either way, it's going to result in Germany having top 2, but not being able to get that star to the jump. That's got to be in Australia. Target POW as well on the Lucid there.
For sure. What I have to assume happened was the top 2 blocked the glitch. It didn't look like anyone spun out on it.
Right,
And
right,
Solar
right.
also didn't even go for it. So what I have to assume is that it's blocked. 1-3 for Germany right now. Maybe get a snipe off. He does get a snipe off on Barry.
Barry there, yeah. So I'd be able to land one, it seems. Now, what will he be able to do into responding to that? No, not able to do too much there. We'll be dropping back a bit to 4th place in response to the bumps from his end, and now 6th place.
Dropping the ranks, unfortunately.
I don't have a read on Shock's situation, but BCW is one of those tracks where being in 9th is actually not even bad. Like, it actually, I feel like in some situations it's better. We do see a bill come out. I'm not sure from who, but that does maybe signal that Shock is certainly possible for the bagger in 9th place right now. And the reason being, being in 10th place isn't that cool because going backwards, like, you run into very little item boxes.
Right. Going backwards in 10th on BCW forces you to have, like, pretty big droughts being itemless.
Right.
While 9th has the opportunity to just spam boxes right where Crash is approaching right now.
Yeah. And we'll see. I didn't catch who that was in 9th, but we'll see what ends up becoming of it. Red Shell does not connect with Verly, of course, around these various turns. Very hard to connect one in general. Single shroom for Crash. I don't think Crash takes Ultra generally, so he will end up going left side. Australia in, I believe, 2, 3, 4.
Solar going right. Maybe a glitch comes out from him.
Yeah. There's a TC for Verly. Maybe stopping down here. Crash will have to watch out. Don't want to take that for sure.
I would just, yeah.
Maybe.
Does he?
TC glitch then? No shot. No.
Not sure.
Either way, Bill coming out for Germany. No shock coming into play. Yeah, it
Last
dodges
second
Germany.
shock.
That's got to be.
That's
their
huge.
Shock. That's huge. The top 3, maybe that's top 4.
Is it?
They
Top
dodge
3
right
for
before
sure.
them. Top 3 for sure.
Top 3 for sure.
But God, what was that? An Australia shock? I don't know. I literally don't know.
I really, I'm not sure. It looked a bit hesitant in terms of when it was being used. You know, you saw Germany in dodges for a bit. Crash obviously being forced into that from the TC and triple greens. But I mean, I wouldn't imagine that that'd be an Australia shock. Like, I don't think they'd use that there, like, at all. I think that is almost certainly a Germany shock. You know, massive race for Germany. That's like exactly what they needed. Yeah,
Literally.
top 3-7 for Germany. Top 3-7-9. You know,
Wow, I super want to know like who shock that was, because we really just didn't get a glimpse, at least from what we were both able to see.
it'd be a super uncharacteristic shock if it was Australia, considering how well they've been doing them so far.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you know, the German bagger in 9th, maybe he did end up getting that in 9th. You know, the scenario we were talking about, spamming those boxes. I didn't actually get to see.
I guess what throws me off about it is that Germany was in those dodges for a bit.
Right. That's what I mentioned too.
And I think the person that dodged behind Crash, because there was someone that dodged behind Crash, was Australia.
Right.
So it makes me think like, they tried to get it framed perfect and just messed up, and it was a big mess up.
Right. Yeah. It didn't look like Germany was gonna dodge.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
as you could probably hear from our reactions, that looked pretty last second.
Gee,
But yeah.
almost a 30-point lead.
Yeah. That's big. That's huge.
And the response on the course picks you can sell is appropriate. Raceway being picked as that kind of reset. But no, it's going to go everything's going Germany's way, apparently, even with all this conversation around lag. I think maybe something easier to forget about when you're up 28 points.
Yeah.
We'll see if that actually ends up being the case. But all the same, it's top 3 on TF. What makes top 3 so lethal here?
So as you can probably see now, there's only 3 boxes at the start, right? When you have top 3, you have a pretty decent control on like the first 2 tight boxes, and that's kind of, you know, you're leaving Australia with bottom spots, 1 box to work with to try to get to the front. As we can see here, you know, the pack's already breaking off a bit. You know, the top half has like a bit of a lead, while the bottom is a bit further behind.
Nice.
Gotta wonder whether Nuclear is in front or not. It's on his screen. Doesn't look like it.
No, shouldn't be. These bananas are coming really close, though.
A little scary, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if ends up being any threat.
This is looking pretty Germany dominated in the top.
That's sick back spam, too. I don't think it landed on his... Actually, it might have landed on Sand. I'm not sure. Well, that green did connect on Crash's part. Great positioning there. And, yeah, the top 2 is very much taken away. Like you said on TF, it's very possible to just press A
Yeah.
and run away with it. But, of course, there's that bagging duel in the back to always be looking out for. And, of course, TF being a track that you can't go all the way backwards on. It can, to some extent, be a toss-up. Blue Shell does come in. Will connect in the red light room, which will mean that like you're up in the air for less amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Kevin able to salvage that position. But this looks like 2-3 are still pretty close. Actually, this top pack has been separating.
See, Germany looking like 1-3 at the moment.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Lucid is anywhere near.
No, Blue looked like it did a lot of damage.
Yeah. So we'll see what it ends up pinning. That target shot coming in, though. So it will be a big
One
shot
Dodger
coming in for
coming
Australia. One dodge. Who is it? It's going to be Lockie.
Dodge.
So Lockie coming in second place here. Will they be able to hold off Crash? This would be huge for them to respawn if they can at least hold on. That's triple bananas as well, I think. So, yeah, great protection here for Verly here coming up. And Crash is going to want to make sure he holds on because, yeah, I think Australia had a good amount of bottom spots. Ooh, those bananas popping in the last frame. Insane. What just happened on your end? That's the crucial mistake. And now a lot of Australia moving up into those top spots here. Germany struggling to find an answer to a way to respond. That's going to be basically negating everything that we just saw in the last race. And 7th and 8th place will be it.
I can't help but think that was at least just a little bit fault of Germany. I feel like that race was pretty salvageable in terms of spots behind top two, but they just Crash just making probably 2-3 too many mistakes at the end there.
Yeah. I think that banana obviously catching him off guard, but I think there was still generally avoidable. I think if just going wide is
right.
I think because at this point you have to be playing knowing something like that, generally just seeing bananas pop up half a second to a second later than they maybe should. That's just generally what is going to be happening. So I do wonder beyond that
it's being in the spot that Crash was, he didn't really have much to say in terms of whether or not top two gets the spots they got.
Yeah.
The only item that he could probably get to do damage is a bomb, and you don't need to be close to do anything with that.
Yeah.
He kind of just had to play it safe there, concede the fact that he maybe wasn't gonna catch top two, and just try to keep 3, 4, 5 as safe as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, he did get redded or greened or something shelled by his teammate, which
To be clear, misplays not necessarily on Crash's end there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That wasn't. I wouldn't say that's his fault, but at the end of the day, that 3-4, considering what happened, isn't the worst thing. It's definitely not the race that Germany wanted. It's definitely not the race that I expected them to get. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was looking for a bit like it was going to be way better, but the blue shell ended up coming in and everything just seemingly going wrong for them. Australia will be happy to capitalize off that. And now, unfortunately for them, Germany getting a track pick of their own. So Australia will get those spots only to really have to try to make use of it on this track, which they did do decently well on last time in match 1. Let's see how they make use of it here again. It's race 8 here, I'm obligated to say, as a 13-point lead, which, again, still is something that we didn't see at all, really, throughout the entirety of Game 1. But the question is, will Germany be able to hold on to that? Gets the green snipe, unfortunately, onto his bagger there, so will pass, doesn't pass at all, but does slow down his bagger in the bagging duel.
That actually would have been a lot worse had he not gotten the other bagger, too. But he ended up greening both baggers, so...
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Did not see that, yeah. Well, it looks like...
Unfortunately, it's looking like the Germany bagger did indeed get Bill, so Shock is most likely going to be in the hands of Australia this race.
Yeah, they are going forward now at this point, so I'm just expecting that. Crash opting to hold the star, I guess just acknowledging the pack for what it is and how far away everyone is, which I think is the smart play. Australia in a lot of these middle spots, though, and if they dodge anything, it's probably Megas. Maybe a star that they hold up, but nothing being activated yet. Crash being smart about this. I do think he has to use it now, though.
Now,
yeah, perfect usage on them. Oh, that's 2 stars for Australia. That should be an easy top 2 for them. Will he be able to salvage? Yes, it will be the case. Oh, Kevin? No, I think Kevin ends up getting 5th there. So
he got a bit too antsy with that red. He actually could have redded the Australia member that ended up beating Kevin at the end. But probably in 7th place, you're not expecting a single red. But yeah, 3-5 looking like for Germany. That's kind of what you're expecting to get when the other team gets shocked on Luigi Circuit. That's sort of just how the cookie crumbles,
Yeah.
Especially on a track where, for baggers, it's really hard to do much in terms of what you do going backwards. It's sort of just, you go either around the boxes or hit a box and you kind of just pray at that point. It's really not much to it in terms of bagging in this track.
Yes.
Top 2-4 coming out for Australia. Yeah, I mean,
I think this is basically a tie game.
Yeah,
right
pretty
now.
much.
Yeah. So Australia making the comeback in just these last few races here, and what was pretty direly needed for them to make sure that they had a say in this match. It looked like it was going downhill for them, but now basically a tie ball game, like we said. And all eyes really on this Germany roster. Will they be able to clutch this back up? Because if not, this might be the last 4 races of their World Cup tournament, which, I think looking at their side of the bracket, if they win, they either go on to play the winner of Japan or Norway. And I think that's pretty favorable, generally speaking. That's versus Japan, they looked solid enough. Admittedly, they didn't play against Roast. And
that's actually something big to know,
yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Roast not being part of that roster, I wonder what Peralta will look like. But Peralta's looked solid here.
Yeah.
I mean, and hasn't really flubbed on any of the strats that are generally kind of harder to hit.
Yeah.
So I do wonder.
Sarek, what are you thinking? What are you thinking in terms of how's Germany looking in your eyes?
I think they look great. I mean, as long as they just can keep their mentality together. I think that's the thing. That's the big X factor for me here. Just given the conversations that have been happening, regardless of how they shake out, I think to keep your head in it and make sure that doesn't translate to making any mechanical errors,
right?
Which we've seen now and then.
From both ends, honestly.
Yeah, really. But I do think, I honestly think, I don't want to say it goes to a game 3, but Germany have shown resilience in this game.
It's for sure looking a lot better than game 1.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, and it really, I think even just track picks will make a huge difference here in who gets what. So we'll see what ends up being the case.
BC3 coming out, probably one of my favorite tracks to watch in terms of a clan war perspective, just because it's so so much can happen, and I feel like there's a lot more control in the race than what people give it credit for.
Yes. Best track in the game by far.
Yes.
But it will be Germany starting off in top spots here, and I'm maybe eyeing the shortcut and blocking, especially with a banana and a fib here.
Yeah, I was gonna say throw out that Nana, probably favorable to block it with that fib, just 'cause it's a bit harder to unblock.
Who takes Ultra here on Germany?
I'm not
Australia
too
with
sure.
the unblock, I guess, or maybe the fib wasn't entirely there.
Regardless, Australia suddenly dominating the top
Where
spots.
did Germany go?
I'm not sure what. It looked like 2-3 stopped.
I think they stopped for Ultra or something like that, but not panning out well.
No, not at all.
Fortunately enough, it's BC3, so it really doesn't have to matter.
Yeah.
But you can definitely run into the trap of, thinking it's BC3, it can catch up. We'll definitely have our eyes on the shortcut here, if it's still blocked or not. But it's Crash holding up the fort here for Germany, so to speak. That POW being kind of detrimental, though. Yeah, for sure. Target POW getting onto him.
Shroomless?
Ambitious.
That's huge.
Wow,
That's
Crash.
insanely huge.
Hats off. That's big, especially with Australia, all of them taking cut. If he didn't go for that big brain play, it's Australia maybe top 2 or top 3. I can't tell. Top 2, yeah. So
Crash now in first. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he kind of had to do that. Cut was unblocked, and Australia most likely had Shrooms behind him. So, to keep that first, you kind of have to make plays like that.
Yeah.
Especially to keep yourself in it in the war. A top 2 here would be pretty big in terms of momentum for Australia.
Yeah, this is what Crash looking much more clean now.
He needs a block. Okay, nice. He got that nano block cut.
Right.
Just don't fail it. Just
I
don't fail the block.
think second place.
He
I think he may.
I think it's on.
Let's see. Shock does come out anyway. I think that might be a dodge for Germany in fourth.
A bill coming up?
Bill coming up. That's huge. A target shocks Verley as well. I don't know if that was intended, but job well done if it was. If that might be a Germany top 2. We'll see what the result of that dodge.
Yep.
Yeah, Sane coming up in that bill. Huge moves coming out here from Germany, not from just Crash, but the bagger and the rest of their team able to hold it up. Now, will they be able to hold it till the end of the race here? Blue shells are rather common here. Looks like they won't be coming in at the last second. And if I do say so myself, Germany, the answer they needed. It will be Sane finishing in second. We'll see what the end of the rest of the results are, but that should be a race win for Germany here.
It's a guaranteed 8th for sure. You see Solar in last. I think I saw 3-4 for Australia. So, and honestly, I think I saw 6-7 for Germany. I think those are the. I'm gonna be honest, that is still a really good race in terms of how it was looking. I'm sure the call was a bit scared. Top 2,
that was
4.
such a scary race.
Yeah,
for Australia
100%.
For Germany for a bit.
Yeah.
Australia looks so threatening. I mean, they had in lap 2 all the resources they needed. Pow. They were able to take cut in first lap when it didn't look like they should have been able to. I guess do an unblock. That's 5-6 for them.
5-6. Okay.
So that's I think.
A DC.
Oh, DC.
That might
That's
have been
Barry
it.
again. That's their second DC, I believe, correct?
So resetting now would mean
no more DCs
resets.
for Australia, at least in this match alone.
Right.
So 3 more races. That would mean what? So Australia gets 8-10 there, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So all that said, race win for Germany for sure, and I do believe that will be at least maybe a 5 to 10 point lead for Germany. Maybe, I don't know. 11. Okay, I was proved wrong there. Not my Pellegrino. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Well, there goes some of my sparkling water. But wow, what a race we did just see there. I mean, I think if obviously clutch plays coming out from Crash, it's exactly what you generally want to see from Germany.
Right.
I think they would have liked to be able to take those kind of picks in, but I don't think the MKPS rules on DCs where you take the spots from a DC race comes into play here because it has to be from race 10 and on, right? I think, or is it just GP3?
So you can take back your spots regardless. It's when it comes with a DC.
Yeah.
It's,
The way the rule works is
Yes.
so you stay at the same spot besides the post. If it's the first 2 BPs, you could place, say you crash got first, you put a lead.
Is it besides the host?
What?
Is it besides the host though? Because it's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Well, so they do salvage some of the spots there. I mean, which is good for them. Holding on to some.
It looks like they are.
Yeah.
So they are keeping spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. So that's big for them to hold on to that.
Yeah. Yeah,
which,
that is big.
Rightfully so, I think. To hold on to that. What do you pick here if you're Team Germany? Top 2, 5,
Top
6.
2, 5, 6. So we went TF, we went MH.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
No
in
BCB
them-
in play.
yeah. I mean, in terms of a drafting track, I don't know. I think maybe an RBC, maybe. I'm not really too sure. Honestly, I feel like at this point, you kind of just want to pick a front running track, anything that's
it's a toss up.
yeah.
Top 2 on Maple. That's a bold call coming in from the producer.
Yeah, he does have a point. You know.
But I think this third just races at that point. Yeah. To be fair, I don't think the audience can hear you, so I'll just recap what he's saying. Hawk calling top 2 going on Maple because third, if they go into cut, it's pretty free. But I think at that point, third place. It's pretty possible to just maintain that top 2. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a good call, actually.
It's actually probably one of my worst things is knowing what track to pick. To be honest, that's why
It's rough. It's rough sometimes.
I sort of just go with the obvious. Once you get drafting tracks and 1-3 tracks out the way, I have no idea what to pick. I'll be honest. But yeah.
Right. They DK Summit, TF, BC Weed, these are all the tracks they wanted. Yeah, and they're all out. I'm trying to think. I mean, Cuba Cave wouldn't be really that great in this situation. Rainbow Road, not for top 2 though, right?
First has a swerve.
Yeah. Yeah. If they have top 2, 4 maybe.
Yeah, but I still feel like it's kind of risky just because you have to swerve.
Right.
That's just my opinion. I never pick it because if you fall off the first straight or the second one, you lose.
And I think especially if you're either of these two teams with the lag that's been happening, it's just been do you want to chance that?
I think, honestly, at the end of the day, I think I am liking what Germany's been doing so far a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I like, it seems like they have a much stronger grasp on like what boot shocks.
Right.
For one thing, I feel like, at BCW, I'm still not sure. Regardless of whose shock that was, if it was Australia's or Germany's.
We're still wondering.
Yeah, I'm honestly still not. I'm really not sure. But
Any Twitch chatters?
I mean, they still, they've got 1 foot into game 3. I'm gonna be honest. They just gotta finish out this war.
So for what it's worth, pretty noteworthy to say here, I think. 9 in, cool. So we'll be starting relatively shortly here. But it looks like Norway and Japan are going to be what was originally scheduled to be Saturday at around 10 a.m. Eastern. Is actually going to be playing 7 minutes.
Oh.
So the thing is, I mean, if we go to a game 3 here, we go to a game 3 here.
Yeah. If it's a game 3, if it's a game 3 here, playing that one out.
Yeah. That's the thing. We got ourselves a ball game here.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see. Can Germany hold on to this, or will they send us to the Norway-Japan match with Australia in the semifinals? That would be saying that sentence is kind of sick.
Yeah.
To imagine Australia in top 4.
A lot of firsts.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of firsts.
We'll see where we end up going here. It's top 2, 5, 6 again. A lot of the track picks being used up, but this track pick being very important here with 3 races left to go. All of the DCs being off the board, I think. Is it for both teams or just Australia?
I think it's just for Australia. I don't think Germany is DC.
Oh, yeah, they have not. I
don't think so.
Yeah. So let's see what ends up being the case here. I do know that Germany had a hard cutoff for one of the players at the hour. So maybe time's kind of ticking against the clock for them here.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's one of the reasons why they go. Oh, actually, no, they still go NC4BC, but it's going to go Australia's pick, Peach Beach, which really can eliminate the use of that top 2. Do you stop here if you're second place? Do you just slow down a little bit?
It's hard to say. Peach Beach is actually oddly runnable, mostly because of the water current. It really favors top spots, like going into lap 2. But
lap 1.
Lap 1, it's just anyone's game.
Yeah. I really like Crash's adjustment there to oh, that bomb just barely landing onto him and Sane. And
was that 3 Germany?
That was 3. That's actually huge, but it is Peach Beach.
Yeah.
And so they do have time to recover. What I was going to say is that Crash actually had like a really nice adjustment of his alignment on the first turn to anticipate getting bumped into from Australia, which was just like a heads-up play. But now the Mega in 4th place.
Unfortunately, Australia does seem to be the bag. Well, unfortunate for Germany, they do seem like they're the bagger in last.
Right. Ooh. Yeah. Just kind of realized a little bit too late that he had an opportunity to maybe get onto the Australian bagger with that Mega. But
don't think Shock's in play. Looked like bagger was shrooming and the other one was starring. Might have gotten it here.
Yeah. We'll see if that's the case. But I think Australia had shrooms basically after that bomb. They got those low item positions when Germany were top spots, then ended up shrooming up. Pow does come out. Mega comes into play. Doesn't connect with Kevin, I think. Hopefully. They're really close to it.
Blue coming out.
Blue comes out. Maybe a cancel, but them being in dodges will force...
Huge pull.
Force
gotta get. Gotta remember that fib.
Yeah, he doesn't remember from last lap. Can Germany recover any spots here? I think they end up getting 3-4. 3-4-6, unless an Australian player, I think the one that we saw in 5th, doesn't get 5th. We'll see, but from what I saw, that should be a pretty evening race for the match.
This is really close.
Yeah, this is insanely close, actually.
It's really unfortunate because that
bomb decided the race.
It really did.
Yeah.
And right at the end, Crash basically got the god pull. Mega into triple shrooms was like the best possible case there.
Yep.
Well, he's holding the Mega, but regardless, he had to go a little tighter just because 3, 4, 6, 7.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I did see. Okay.
But yeah, he had to go a bit tighter because the Australian member was trailing a red. But maybe just a bit too much going on for him to remember the fib that was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure if if that pans out too well. Even if he does dodge the fib, he might have just get redded anyways. Maybe.
Yeah. Honestly.
We won't know. No.
We will not. Simply not.
3, 4, 6, 7, not the worst thing.
Oh my God, tie ball game.
It's just too close.
How? Oh my God. All right. Well, 2 races left. You have 3, 4, 6. If you're Australia with these positions, what tracks do you go at this point?
Honestly, I might just run back RBC. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Well, run it back in terms of on Australia's side. Right. Yeah.
And for Germany, they might be looking for a Mario Circuit here. No, Coconut Mall.
Actually, yeah, CM is actually a really good pick from top 2.
Yeah, you can break away really easily. I mean, that shortcut, yeah, it's there, but it doesn't really do like that much.
I think what's good about it is that what I've seen a lot of teams doing these days is blocking both sides of the banister, like right at the opening.
Yeah.
Because you kind of deny fourth's line. They have to kind of just take a bit slow in the middle.
Right.
And you also deny third, trying to get behind first.
Right, that would be
so
smart.
it's pretty good in terms of that. Once you break away on CM, it's really hard to get back. So
The banister, of course, being the sides of the stairs. So we'll
Right,
see.
right, these
we'll
railings.
see if that ends up being the. Actually, we won't. No block comes in yet, at least on this first lap. But Crash will get that star to start things off. I'd like to hold it. Just kidding.
Fib's just not in his favor.
Not in the mood. To, and honestly, that is a good play. Because
Oh, yeah.
Coconut Mall, it's so hard to come back on this track.
For sure.
I don't know what it is about it, but like that shortcut does not really do too much.
It doesn't. And worst thing he could have pulled here.
Yeah, this is actually the worst item possible. Maybe trying to pass it. No? Okay, just going to like to try to get an 8th place item here.
This is already looking really rough for Germany.
Really rough. Maybe goes for Bagger here in this situation? No? Okay, yeah, it would just slow them down too much, and you really have to use... I don't know. I mean, I feel like at 8th place with this much of a distance, your race
It's kind of over.
might be over.
It's honestly at this point
Unless
in
you
the
get
hands
shot.
of
That's
the
like you have to bank on that.
Right.
And in Coconut Mall, of course, being a track where there is no going backwards, it is a toss-up for sure, with some
And,
micro-level play. About
you know, it's looking like
plays.
Team Germany might have called for their bagger to get a box, and from what I can tell, Australia might have gotten it off of that.
Yeah.
They're running away with it. Daisy's in 9th, really far away.
Doesn't look like Australia at least has a dodge back here, so I don't really know how much it'll do them. But I think if nothing else, it can prevent them. An Australia shock maybe preventing them from cut is what we can maybe expect to see here. Or just simply holding it. Which is
Yeah,
probably
might
the
just
better
be
strat.
might just be holding it. If they get a really good race here, it's going to be really hard for Germany to come back. But the pack in the middle looking extremely tight. Aside from first, who's
Yeah.
gone.
I don't know what happened here at all. It was an entire pack that was gone, and seemingly not the case anymore. It's big on Kevin and Crash's part to come up with a huge play. Now it's just up to Crash.
He's
You
got
have the
to hit
bomb.
someone.
You have to hit this. Does it connect? Not
Does
quite.
not.
Will the shock come in at the last second? I don't think it will, because it's Australia with the shock. But will you come in? Maybe get no. There's no shot at that. Top 3 coming out.
Sheesh.
That's Lockie with the dodge.
Top
And
3,
Australia
7.
with a huge race here.
Oh man.
I think this basically forces all of a sudden Germany to all run, maybe, or at least consider it.
Consider maybe. I think they just have to go for top 3.
Can also
anything
depend
better
on
than
like
7.
course selection too, but yeah, for sure.
That hurts. That hurts for Germany for sure.
Yeah, that is so clutch. Like getting that course pick in that situation there for Australia, and to be able to just ride it out like that.
I just have to, I have to wonder what went wrong in the beginning. Just because I
Yeah.
feel like that was just way too dominated by Australia for it to be all because of items.
Right,
I feel like
right.
it might have been, maybe some people didn't get boxes, whatever it may be. That just was too good for Australia at the start for Germany to come back from. And
Yeah.
it was looking hopeful with the bomb. If Crash pulls like a god throw, maybe gets second, drafts third or something, jumps into second. It was looking like a slimmer of hope. A slim, a glimmer.
A little glimmer, slimmer. Honestly,
Slim glimmer, yeah.
I wasn't gonna call you out on it, but
But yeah,
21 points here. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely opinions that differ on it, but I feel like at this level of play, it could be a toss-up for like. It's why we're seeing the Mario Circuit come out. We will probably expect to see Germany doing, having Bagger still go for it.
yeah.
DK Mountain, of course, being a cannon track, which is the counter to any hope at all running. But I think they're going to go to Mario Circuit and just still bag and go for the play here. We'll see what ends up being the case, but it's last race. Germany have a massive hill to come up if they want to force a Game 3 in a single race alone. Australia feeling a little bit of a sigh of relief, but can't be feeling it too much.
This could be their tournament race.
Yep. It could be the
this could
last
be it.
race of their tournament lives. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Australia starting off in top 2. What will Crash do at the start of it to start this last race off? The red won't be enough for now, but ooh, okay. Green bomb does come in, won't connect quite yet. Maybe on the Barry. No, Barry I think going for a shroom line there. No, actually it does connect with Barry I think. So it'll be Kevin Golding up to start off the race here. Pretty big, which I feel like, you know, at the beginning of Mario Circuit races, it is kind of possible in some situations to front run this track.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's all really determined on, you know, shock. If Germany does get shock here, they're looking pretty good, but not if Crash. Well,
honestly, the thing is, like, Germany has like two of the top two spots, and I feel like depending on how shock battle is going, like, you probably want someone to be back there, right?
yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
So it's not the worst move in the world by any means. In fact, Germany already do have 8th.
Wait, maybe that bagging signifies that Germany does have shock. Maybe.
Oh my God, if that is the case, we'll see here. But I mean, Germany is in 9th place right now, but could be in 9th place. He's not shrooming or anything. Does stop, and 10th place does hit the
a bit of a pause.
No, but I do think last place is going fast now. It's hard to say, but either way, the star is going to be coming in.
Yeah, once they're coming
soon.
out. If it's coming, it has to come now for Germany. It's now or never.
They're going to be hoping for it. Australia only at 3-4-5. Crash could come up here at the very end, and maybe no. It comes in at the last second. It's an Australia shock. That should be the game.
That's wraps.
Set and match, and it should be tournament life here for Team Germany here. We'll wait on the final results to confirm, but if that is the case, congratulations to Australia for clutching out, especially towards this last GP where this match really was looking like it was Germany's time to shine, but they shut the door on that opportunity right as they need to.
I had some hope at the end there. You know, I thought maybe Germany stopping meant that they had shock, but I mean, I think at that point you're just kind of stopping just in case anyone gets shock. It's kind of crazy to think that if Germany did have shock there, they maybe win that. They were in 2 stars at the end.
They super might have won.
They had a lot of
top 2, Star and Mega.
Yeah, they had a lot. Well, Mega was actually from Australia,
Sorry.
Yeah, no. But regardless, they had a lot of cards in their hand.
Yeah,
and
did.
it was looking close. I would have been shaken if I was Australia and they didn't have shock.
Yeah, honestly, and like, it was pretty insane for that to transpire, and like, I mean, that's why my eyes were like solely on the mini map at the end.
Yeah.